Hey everybody, it's been a few months since I reviewed the Klipsch LaScala AL6 here on the channel. And you know the thing is, I'm still thinking about it. So yeah, I really do miss it. And I have a lot of great gear coming and going through this room. But sometimes I review something and it lingers. I keep thinking about it. And that's certainly the case with the AL6. And before I forget to mention it, at the conclusion of me talking, blabbing on today, I'm going to post an interview I did with the designer, Roy Delgado from Klipsch. He's a fun guy to talk to. Anyway, it's a treat. So stick around for that later on in today's episode. Now, as for the AL6, it's a big speaker, a very large speaker. I mean, it's 41 inches high, 24 inches wide, and almost 26 inches deep. It weighs 205 pounds each. Anyway, I'm still thinking about the speaker because, well, to be really blunt about it, it's a horn speaker. It's an extremely high sensitivity horn speaker. Sensitivity rating is 103 dB. Now, normally a speaker that's 93 dB or 95 dB, that's a very high sensitivity speaker. This one goes a lot further. And that high sensitivity, it gets you a lot of things. You can use it with low powered amplifiers, but of course you can still use it with high powered amplifiers. But to me, what high sensitivity gets me is greater dynamic range, and not just the wham bam loud stuff. At the quiet end of the spectrum, just hearing deep into the mix, the really subtle things that are happening, room tone, reverb, space, all that really well done on this speaker. And you can play it at late night at very quiet levels and not feel the urge, oh, if I could only play it louder. No, you don't feel that way. You could play it at any level and it's just cruising right along. And that is really something. I love a lot of things about this speaker, but I'm definitely not saying it's a perfect speaker, the perfect speaker for everybody, even if you could fit it in your room, and even if you had the asking price, which is $15,000 a pair. It's not for everybody because it isn't, well, it's not perfect. It's not the most transparent speaker. It's not the best imaging speaker. It doesn't do those things on an exceptional level. There's perfectly fine imaging and perfectly acceptable transparency, but that's not the takeaway. The takeaway from this speaker is it's effortless. It scales really well. If you play a grand piano over the speaker, you have that sense of the scale, the size of a 9-foot grand piano. You hear the big dynamics, you hear the quieter dynamics, the touch of the piano so well. It's just gorgeous. Drums come through this speaker so closer to real, closer to life-size than other speakers. And of course, brass, horns. Yes, you listen to Miles Davis on trumpet or any brass instruments over this speaker, and it's so much more there. The transient response of this speaker, that leading edge energy, so well played by this speaker. Oh, and definitely an extra thanks to the guys at Sky-Fi, Fernando and his guys, for the delivery and pickup of these speakers and doing all the heavy lifting for me. I definitely could not have done it without them. Sky-Fi's a great shop. I've made videos there a bunch of times. If you're in New Jersey, somewhere near Glen Rock, you should definitely check them out by appointment. Anyway, I love these speakers. I miss these speakers. I wish I could keep them here, but they're just too big because I have to do other things. I have other big speakers coming and going, and those were just, someday, maybe when I retire from being a reviewer and I don't have all these speakers around here, that may be my last speaker, the LaScala. It's that good. All right, so let's get right into the interview I did with Roy Delgado from Klipsch. Let's get to it. Roy, this is amazing.
It
You're
is.
sitting next to the speaker I'm about to review. That's incredible.
Well, yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? Can you get them in your place?
Yeah, well, they're in 2 boxes.
Yeah,
so
that's
fit.
true.
Yeah. It's
See, we
not,
did that just
in
for
the place,
you.
it's getting it in the elevator is the question. You got to think like a city slicker kind of guy.
Yeah, I know. To me, like, elevator?
elevators? Like grain elevators, you know that.
Yeah.
So, this is the all-new LaScala.
Yes, sir.
Is it really all new? Wait, is it all new?
Yeah, it's all new.
Okay.
Except for the cabinet. I mean, it's the same.
And the tweeter, that was my first question. Is the tweeter the same tweeter?
It's the same tweeter, but what I ended up doing is we developed a wide dispersion, an extended wide dispersion phasing plug. What that means is I'm not necessarily changing the phasing plug in the tweeter that's already in the compression driver. What I'm doing is extending it out so I can control the polar pattern so that it can be consistent even beyond the wavelengths that are smaller than the throat. Because what happens is typical compression drivers, they collapse.
Okay.
And I don't like that part.
Mm-hmm. I
want consistent. And so we actually came up with a pretty cool process to do that. We did it on the Jubilee. And the LaScala and the K-horn were missing that. On the Cornwall, the 410, the Heresy, it's designed into the phasing plug to make it wide dispersion. And so the only thing was K-horn and LaScala were missing it. And so I said, that's not good. So we designed one for that too.
Okay. So, now we get to the star of the show.
Yes, sir.
Which isn't you.
It's Ryan.
It's the mid-range. Right?
Yes, sir.
That's the big difference.
Well, and that's what started this.
Yeah.
What started even us thinking about making another rev to the LaScala and the K-horn was we got a call from our vendor who makes the old 401 exponential horn. And the tool was wearing out, and there was nothing we could do to patch it up, repair it. We'd already done all those things to extend the life of it. And he said, we're either going to have to make a new tool or make a new horn.
Wow.
And that's what started this. And I know that Paul and I talked about, the compression over the exponential horns versus Tractrix horns, and finally got the data to show Paul that Tractrix was the way to go.
So why wasn't it a Tractrix horn to begin with?
Oh, because we had it in production. I mean, that horn has been in production, that tool has been in production for 40 years.
The mid-range horn for those.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. And in fact, all horns in the before we started playing with Tractrix were all exponential. The tweeter, the mid-ranges, even in the Heresies, Cornwalls, they were all exponential horns. In fact, the first Tractrix horn we made was introduced in the series of the Forte 2, and then the Quartet, and then the Chorus 2. That's when we had started to really play with the equation, and Paul was beginning to get convinced about this is the way we need to go now, this equation, and trying to modify it to even make it better for us.
Sound-wise, not technically, but sound-wise, how does the Tractrix sound better than the exponential mid-range horn?
In a nutshell, Tractrix treats the wave as a spherical wave traveling down, and therefore it launches into the room more elegantly, not reflecting back into the horn, causing resonances, keeping a pretty constant coverage to it. And so people call it open, natural, that's the kinds of
less
things.
horny.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It says X-rated or not? No.
Sorry to, go there, but
no, yeah, honky, forward, screechy, so.
So you mean all those previous generations of LaScalas were all those things? Is that what you just said?
Well,
no.
The exponential horns, if they're not designed right, can obviously have those kinds of. But Paul did do a good job with the 401 horn, and also too, it just depends on how you treat in the network, right? Picking the right crossover points. But there's still a little bit of a forwardness to them. Okay. Because of just the way the wave is treated in the area expansion of the horn. Okay. And so when we designed this horn and started doing all the listening tests to it and everything, to me it's always kind of been an obvious. That's why even in cinema they're all Tractrix horns. And when we listen, when we do shootouts with other companies behind the screen, everybody uses horns, right? And so it's not even about exponential now, it's about constant directivity and all these other horns. And now you just got to have the best sounding horn. And why we would win.
Oh, well, thanks for being so modest.
I like to win, Steve.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. If I find a horn that I like. I don't stick my head in the sand. I want to go by it. I want to figure out why it does that, because it's about progressing, not about planting our flag here while everybody passes us. Right?
Yeah. Oh, of course. That's good. That's why you're you.
That's why I'm me.
Yeah.
That's what Mom says.
So does this one, this mid-range horn, have the mumps?
Yes, it does.
Those curves?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Well, we'll take pictures and insert them. But yeah, okay, good. Because I would be disappointed if it didn't have the mumps.
Well, now you also understand that the mumps are a tool, not cosmetic.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because we have some horns that don't require it. And my horn program figures out what DI is over the length of the horn.
Okay.
And if it's going to start to predict that it's going to lose coverage before it loses control, then it's literally in the program starts growing these things
That's funny.
in order to compensate to make sure it stays consistent before it loses control. And yes, this horn was infected. And if you notice, the tweeter doesn't need it. So it's a matter of whether you need it or not.
So briefly, because there seems to be a lot of horn speakers that are, the round ones are called conical horns, right?
No, it could still be a round exponential horn.
Okay.
It's just a matter of how you draw out the geometry. And smooth transitions translates into lower reflections back to the horn, which means lower resonances and lower distortion, which I think we were concerned about that.
Yeah. That was one of Mr. K's directives.
Yes, sir.
You got to follow his orders.
Yeah, they're ingrained in my back somewhere.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you weren't not tattooed with them or something.
Now I got to look in
What
the
are
mirror.
those rules? Low distortion.
Yeah, the first one is his first concern was always efficiency,
Okay.
which translates into low distortion, low intermodulation distortion.
Okay.
Because harmonic distortion it's not that hard to reduce, to be honest with you. I mean, you can design the actual diaphragms to do that. First of all, it's music, it is harmonically related, but it gives us some sort of a warmth to it, as people call it, yeah. Intermod is not related harmonically. I mean, it just sounds like caca. and that's totally dependent on displacement of the driver.
Okay.
So if Paul used to say, if it moves, it distorts. So what we want to do is not have much movement.
Yeah. Words to live by.
Well, yeah.
So moving to the bottom of this discussion, the woof. Now, so all the LaScalas up to now had 15-inch drivers?
Yes, sir.
And this one has 12?
A 12.
And does that 12 live in other Klipsches?
Yeah. Oh, it's used in the Forte.
It's used in the Forte. Okay.
Yep. It's a 3-inch voice coil, large magnetic structure. But we applied the concept of the horn-loaded vented system, and that we have a patent on that, and we used it on the Jubilee. And basically, what it does is, just like it does on a vented system direct radiator, makes it more efficient on the bottom end, right, by causing the air mass to resonate and give you more of an extension, but a faster roll-off, right, 24 dB versus 12. I was listening to the LaScala, which has a sweet spot for me. I mean, that was the first Klipsch speaker I ever had.
Nice.
And I never heard of Klipsch till I got the Klipsch. So what ended up happening was I was listening to the Cornwall and the K-horn, which is above and below the LaScala. And Cornwall just has some growl to the bottom end. And I said, I want the LaScala to have some growl. People think bigger woofers, lower bass, which is really not true. Plus, you also have a 3-inch voice coil and a larger magnetic structure, so we didn't lose any sensitivity. But we did gain with the horn, with the vents in it, goes down to just below 40 now.
Wow.
So it's got the growl to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it sounds okay.
But what happens if you put it in a corner?
Well, same deal. Any speaker sounds better in a corner, right?
No. I think so. Not usually. But it would extend the bass by putting it in.
Oh yeah, well, because it's a vented system, and it's like with anything. If you put it outside, it's got to push all that air.
Okay.
Right.
Right. I like that.
And if you put it up against the wall, now it's and the ground. Now you got only a quarter of the air has to move. You put it in a corner, only an eighth of the air has to move. So it loads better, it couples better, and yes, it does move the resonant point down.
Yeah. And sounds better overall for the mids and top?
Oh yeah, I mean, particularly since we have 90-degree coverage, right?
Yeah.
We're still keeping them off the walls and all this other stuff. Now, if you have very wide dispersion, 120 degrees, you're going to get reflections off the wall a lot sooner than you are with a 90-degree coverage horn.
Have people done that with LaScalas up to now?
Put them in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that do that.
So more like K-horns.
It's not necessarily like they're more like K-horns, but remember, it wasn't a vented system. It was a sealed system.
Right.
So the horn flare rate would dominate. So you would only get so much extension, not as much as with a vented system that is tuned lower now.
And the crossover point from?
It's about 400 hertz still.
Okay.
And about 4K between the mid-range and tweeters. So we're covering a decade in the mid-range.
And it's second order slopes?
Oh no, I like steep slopes.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, I like steep slopes.
Don't tell the audiophiles that.
Yeah.
We'll edit out that part of it.
I think they already kind of know that about me. I like steep slopes.
Now you know that I'm Mr. Passive.
Yeah, you are.
I'm a passive guy.
Yeah, I know you're a pacifist.
Yeah, and but we should talk about the active version. So
Okay.
the active version has to be triamped.
It has to be
You have to use
triamped.
the crossover.
Yes, sir.
And means you need not necessarily three identical amplifiers, but would you say three amplifiers with the same sensitivity?
No. You can use any amplifiers that you want.
Oh, because you can control the level.
Because see those two knobs.
Yeah.
The mid-range is held constant, so you can adjust the HF either more gain or less gain, and the LF more gain or less gain to match the input sensitivity.
Okay, so they don't have to be that.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up. So the crossover is the signal is gonna go out of their preamp. That's a two-channel system, out of their preamp.
Yes, sir.
Into the crossover.
Yes, sir.
A to D.
D to A.
DSP, D to A, and out to the three amplifiers.
Yes, sir.
That's the signal path.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Makes me nervous. You know that.
It's
Scares
wireless
me,
too.
frightens me. What?
It's wireless too.
It's wireless. No, don't confuse the people. It's not wireless. It's more wireless. Invest in copper again.
Yep. Well, but the speakers come with the passives. Okay.
So and you can make it either way, right?
Yes.
If you change your mind down the road, you bypass me and say Guttenberg's an idiot, I should go active. They can just buy that, add the crossover.
Well, I wouldn't say idiot, but okay.
Very polite. But anyway, they add the crossover at any time.
Yeah, I mean, because it's pretty easy to convert. So whenever you want to go active, you buy the unit and you remove those jumpers, and your amplifier outputs go straight into the driver inputs. You don't have to open nothing up.
So
I think I know you like passives. I know you like passives.
I like passives because I want the analog signal from my preamp to stay analog. I don't want it to go through A to D and D to A.
Yeah.
Anything we missed?
You kind of put me on the hot spot here.
This is your job, man. You're Mr. Klipsch. You're the stand-in for Mr. Klipsch.
Yeah,
Chaos.
I'm very humbled for that.
Yeah.
Very humbled
But
for that.
do you feel his presence? I'm being serious. How many years were you working with him? 10 years, right?
No, I was working for him 16 years.
With him?
With him.
Wow. So you really know him.
Yeah, we got to be really good friends, and like he was like a third grandfather to me. I mean, I remember when I got baptized, he wanted to go to my baptism. We were just that close. We were just that close. I mean, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. I told people, Paul taught me a lot. Some of it was about speakers. But we took the Jubilees to CES in '99, and that may be where I met you.
Oh, okay.
And there was quite a few people. There was a line to meet Paul, and a lot of it was just to thank him.
That's what I did.
Yeah. And that to me was a highlight.
Yeah.
The Jubilee was playing and everything, but to watch, You know, because Mr. K, you know, he didn't really realize it, but he did influence a lot of people. You know, and it wasn't so much that he ended up being, they ended up being like horn guys or whatever. Just the fact that he was there for the definition of a decibel. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he was a living history. You know, and he also respected, like, other companies as this thing was growing. You know, audio was growing. It wasn't so much that they were just competitors; they were also friends. I mean, and Paul was a pack rat. He kept all these letters to all these guys, you know, that he was just friends with.
Nice.
Which is impressive to me. I mean, it's Paul was never one to toot his own horn. I never expected to get to work for a company I didn't even know about.
You know, I met Andy Singer, my boss, in 1978.
Yeah.
And it was, without exaggeration, a life-changing experience.
Right.
You know, so, because something happened between me and him.
Right.
And I just kept going. I was a customer, but I kept going back, not to buy more stuff, just to hang out with him and stuff. And then I gradually started working for him and everything. But that led to my writing career. It led to working for Chesky Records. It led to, you know, doing this, making videos.
And just
it all comes from him.
Just that one little event led to this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have happened in another way, but this is the way it did happen, and that's amazing. So, I relate to you in that way, you know, but yeah. So, anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Goop.
In Berg. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for sticking around. If you like my channel, if you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Please give me a thumbs up when I deserve it. And if you really like it and you really want to go that extra mile, please consider joining my Patreon. You can do so for just a couple of bucks a month, or up to $50 or even $100 a month. At the top two tiers, you and I will have a conversation every month at the beginning of the month. Anyway, there's exclusive content on the channel. I just got to wrap this up and say thank you again for watching, and I truly do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.